to the LACC County Board of County Commissioners regular meeting. Today is Tuesday, September the 16th, 2025. It is now 9 a.m. I'm going to ask to please rise for an invocation by Commissioner Tony Haas, followed by the pledge of allegiance by Commissioner Lucero.
Heavenly Father, thank you for another day. Help us remember that we are made in your image. It seems everywhere we turn, we see and hear reminders of the world divided. Social media is full of heated debates and angry words. Guide our words toward civility and wisdom, discourse and discussion. Teach us as people with faith to model respect for our fellow men in all conversations, whether public or private. You have called us to be salt and light to our nation and to the world. Empower us and guide us in your holy name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioners. Roll call, Mr. Brown.
Commissioner Hess?
Here.
Commissioner Sir? Here. Commissioner Lopez?
Here, thank you. Approval of the agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda, Mr. Brown?
No changes, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Sir?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes, thank you. Going to section 2 of this agenda today, consideration of minutes. We have 2A, regular meeting minutes, September 2nd, 2025. Commissioners, we have those minutes in your packet. Are there any questions, deletions, or any type of edit? Here and now, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve the regular meeting minutes of September 2nd, 2025.
Second that?
Commissioner Sir?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes, thank you. Section 3, reading of correspondence, Commissioner Committee reports. Commissioner Tony Haas, would you like to go first, sir?
Sure. On September 5th, the CCI Southern District annual meeting was held in Alita. It was well attended. Only 2 counties from the Southern District were not present. Similar to Los Angeles County Legislative Roundtable, federal and state representatives gave updates along with Chaffin, Dolan, and CSU Extension. And we were introduced to the new CSU Extension agent for the new Southern Regional Director. His name is Jeremy McNeely. He'll be replacing Bruce Frickenshire in the retired recently. CCI staff gave enough legislative updates, and it was wrapped up with a county roundtable. On the 11th, CDA and CCI met. We have our monthly meetings for updates on what's happening in the agricultural world. And their collaboration, it was rather brief. Kate Greenberg wasn't present, and Jordan Beasley gave a report. There were collaborations to advance recreation on state lands, but to always prioritize grazing. So we'll see how that plays out. Then there was a legislative update, and the only 2 pieces of legislation at this time that CDA is watching is the right to vote and the right to waive is the same piece of legislation. The question was asked, why are grain prices low? Corn is at an all-time low since 1950, same commodity levels as 1950. And it's really been a struggle for our producers to make ends meet. And there's a reoccurrence of the avian influenza. Bird flu has shown up in North Dakota. And all those birds are migrating south, so we expect that we'll probably have an outbreak here before long. Dr. Baldwin, who's with CDA, is monitoring diligently. On the 10th, CCI and the Director of State Planning and Budgeting, Dola and Moed, met. And Mike Ferrandino, who's the Director, provided a briefing on budget reductions at the state level and how the cuts impacted counties and municipalities and their programming. He blamed explained the deficit on HR 1, and we know that there was a deficit prior to HR 1. There's not enough reserves to manage a recession. He talked about that at length, and let's see here. During this special session, 146 million was moved from Prop 123 to general fund. Transfers from CDPHE of 9.2 million. There and CDL and COLA all moved to the general fund. DNR picked up. There's a hiring freeze, 110 million. 9.5 million higher ed, 3.2 million fee for spending fund. It just disheartening to listen to all the numbers and the deficits that we're doing. Also on the 10th of September, let's see, I'm going to skip that one. On the 11th of September, the County Health Pool Board, which I was vice chair of, met, and I resigned that day and nominated Terry Hoffmeister to fill my position. And they retained the rest of the slate of officers as is. They're giving quotes out to the non-member counties. HR costs are rising, and that's one of the main reasons the increases. And HR has been heavily utilized. I don't know if you guys remember that I asked that that program be put in there 3 or 4 years ago. So, 800 Grant Street report, the building that CTSI and CCI were cohabitating. CTSI bought out CCI. CCI has now moved into their new building. CTSI is struggling to sell their portion of the building, and we're going to go out to auction this week. If it doesn't meet the minimum, then we'll go back on and we'll advertise it and try again. There isn't much demand for those kind of buildings in downtown Denver. Due to member input, they've asked for a more robust dental program and a more robust vision program with hearing aids provided also. And that's going to increase our costs. Increases to dental at 8.5% increase to keep up with claims. Vision is going to rise from $150 for frame to $175. Which is a 3.5% increase. The rate increase for the pool in 2026 is to purchase, let's see, Anthem is, they wanted a 16% increase, and our CTSI staff worked really hard and in negotiations to keep it at 0. So there will be no increase on Anthem. And CHP is going to get pharmacy rate rebate of approximately $4 million that will go to the pool, and overall a 6.65% increase across the pool. And we'll find out what our increase is. Christy Coberly, our finance director, is on there also. And we'll find out what our rate increase is soon. Yesterday, I went to Capitol Hill, and Colorado Outdoor Strategy was pleading their case to JBC and to get more funding. And they asked me to participate on a panel to support the outdoor strategy. And I reminded them I'm kind of neutral on the whole thing. To me, this is a private property rights issue, and we've been into the southern end of the state. 90% of these properties are privately owned, and if that individual wants to participate, that private property owner participate, it's totally his prerogative. If he doesn't want to participate, that's fine with me also. So that's what my pitch was on this panel. Aaron Carney from CCA was on the panel. Fletcher Jacobs with CPW and Jackie Miller with GoGo. Of course, Jacobs and Miller testified for the need and the benefits of the Colorado Outdoor Strategy, conservation, recreation, wildlife, habitat development, protection, etc. Carney and I testified to the value of the program as long as it's voluntary and non-prescriptive. My primary response was it needed to be grassroots driven, voluntary, and private property rights to be taken into account. If it ever ceases to be a grassroots voluntary program due to the funding, or if new administration takes over, they asked me if I would support the program. Byron Pelton asked me, and I said, I've been an advocate supporter of this program because it's voluntary. If it ever ceases to be that way, then I'll be the biggest opposition. And I stated that from the panel.
Thank you, sir.
And that's my report, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Lucero.
My report, on the 5th of September, attended the CCI Southern District meeting in Movida. We discussed legislative proposals for the upcoming legislative session of 2026. And there'll be ongoing steering committee meetings. Before all that's said, also, we had CCI budget briefing. It kind of didn't paint a rosy picture for counties at this point. A number of these meetings are the same meetings that our fellow commissioners attended, and totally gave you a detailed briefing on what's going on. So that's all my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Lucero. Well, I was waiting for a letter from the National Association of Counties, and I did. It was actually on my inbox. Once again, I got appointed to the National Association of Counties Subcommittee on Immigration Reform Committee. The letter is actually one of the things every year there is a new National Association of Counties president elected. J.D. Clark is the president at that level, and the letter is basically heading in the appointment comes with a lot of responsibilities on behalf of Los Animas County and the state of Colorado. I will continue to fulfill that position, and also as a board member on the executive board of the National Association and the representative for the state of Colorado. It is a great honor that Los Animas County is occupying a position on that. So humbly, I have accepted the invitation to serve, and it's once again it's a yearly appointment. One of the calls out to every county commissioner throughout the United States, 3,069 counties, parishes and boroughs that participate in the National Association of Counties, is to tell the story of your county. Tell the story. What is it that you're doing? Sometimes, as Commissioner Tony has mentioned, we get so caught up into just the negativity. We have so many things going on here in Los Animas County. You take a look at the building that you are sitting on right now. It is being renovated. It has been updated, all through the hard work of and diligence of administration, working with the Board of Commissioners to bring this building back to serve for another 100 years. Having that opportunity. So his challenge to all of us, J.D. Clark, President of NACO, is once again let's learn from one another. Let's amplify what is working, and let's tell the story of what's not working, but let's do it respectful and with heart, with purpose, and with the intensity that we know that commissioners can actually have. So that is an honor. And on the 8th, we had a South Central Economic Development meeting. The SCED organization, I'm also on the board of that particular organization, working and writing grants for Los Animas County and the counties that are members of this organization. And so Right now, there is a little bit of realignment with the organization. We are in the negotiation of membership and dues and so on, and so we'll see what happens. But there's still a lot of opportunity to continue to write grants for infrastructure, for broadband, for so many things that counties can actually use, and the funds have been set aside. So we'll continue to work with that entity to provide the opportunities what are going to be that are going to be impacting our county. On the 8th of September, Southeast Colorado Region 19 on the opioid settlement funds, we had a meeting and we're going to be reviewing. In fact, I believe it's this Friday. We're going to have a meeting on the evaluation of a request for proposals on harm reduction. We have right now 8 different proposals that we have to review. I've been looking at them and working on those, and we're going to be making an award. Making a recommendation to the larger board. And one of the things on the opioid funds, one of the things that we always want to do is provide services for as many of the 9 counties as possible. We have been impacted in this particular region by the opioid, largely more per capita than other counties. So when we are selecting a vendor or we're selecting someone to provide services for the region, that's going to be one of the things that we look for. How many counties can you provide the services for? And as we do the award, I'll bring that information later on. And as my fellow commissioners mentioned, on the 9th, we had the CCI budget update, and notwithstanding just a couple of comments, we had an opportunity to look at the budget back in 2021, the general fund in 2021. Back then, somewhere between $31 and $32 billion, and when you look at the budget that is currently being presented to or was presented to the JDC from the governor's office, it exceeds or close to $46 billion. So when you look at the difference between 32 and 46, the state expenditures have risen tremendously. So I attempted to make a case on that particular issue because at the end of the day, yes, we have all other factors that are colliding with each other, but the state has grown at a rapid pace when it comes to the expense side of the house. On the 12th, last Friday, we had a CWAC, Child Welfare Allocation Formula Committee meeting, and in it as well, we had an opportunity to look at what are some of the programs that VHS, our services that are coming from social services, if you will, are mandated by the legislature. And it saddened me when we had to ask that question, are we providing any services that may not necessarily be adjudicated by the legislative language? So we are going to be doing an inventory statewide, and also reminded all of us that if we're still operating some of the programs pre-COVID, we might need to do an assessment and evaluations. How do we bring up those pre-COVID requirements to be eligible for any of the services? Now let's take a look at COVID has been gone, and I think what the assessment is going to be tremendously factual and important to counties. We have a very, very talented group of executive directors, and I'll tell you, I'll give a shout out to our very own Mr. Erica. Anytime I go to a meeting, his name comes up. He is very involved in the finances of the state, proposing and planning what needs to be done. So for that, yet a lot of information yet to be seen, but tons of opportunity. And then let me now guide you to the place where we're going to be. Colorado counties, the 64 member counties are going to be meeting. We have the first legislative session beginning this Friday. And with that, we're going to start looking at proposed legislative bills. And counties have, rather than San Luis County doesn't have one. We had one a couple of years ago. But at this particular session, we do not have one. We're partnering with other counties to support some of their bills. Out of the 3840 proposed bills that we have on the table right now as CCI, there will be 8 that are going to be priority 1. I would imagine there's going to be 8 or so priority 1, and then some other ones will go to priority 2 in the event that some of the priority 1 actually don't get the track at the General Assembly, then we'll bring that one from the second tier. But that is very interesting because a lot of the legislation is to protect counties. And CCI will be monitoring somewhere around 100 bills that will be in direct impact to counties. So when we post that information on our website, when once January comes around, so you can follow and track the legislation that we are doing as well. But we have a tremendous amount of knowledge at CCI. The legislative liaisons are very knowledgeable, each one in their own section: public justice, agriculture. We have DHS. So from that perspective, and anytime we have an inquiry, they're ready and willing to respond. So we'll be sharing that information with all of you, so you can follow along what Colorado counties are doing on behalf of the constituents. Commissioners, that's going to be my report, and thank you. Now we're going to go to elected officials updates. Ms. Amaro, good morning.
Good morning.
You had a conference, I believe.
Good morning, board and everybody. Yes, I did have we had our assessors conference. Just to follow on what you were mentioning, we have one bill that the Colorado Assessors Association is pushing out, and it's a cleanup bill. That way we can align dates in our assessment calendar that before our last 3 previous special sessions during the summer, our dates coincided across the board to make everything equal, and every county was doing things correctly. Big counties, small counties, all of our timelines and our deadlines were the same. Well, through those special sessions, some of those deadlines got askewed a little bit, so we are putting forth legislation to extend to rescind the extension of the appeal time, because that doesn't give county assessors or their staff enough time to look at most of the appeals. Your larger counties have to they're rubber stamping some of those appeals just to protect the taxpayer's right to appeal. And so we're trying to give those offices and counties more time to actually diligently do their jobs. Because of all of these special session, new laws and rules, it's impacted some of our time to get our jobs done efficiently. So that's part of our cleanup bill. Dates, some assessment language, ever-changing assessment rates. We're trying to get some language passed so we don't have to recreate forms every time we have to send out NOVs and do special NOVs. So it alleviates some of the processing our computer companies have to do. So that is the only bill that will be coming out of Colorado Assessors Association. I just received an email this morning from our last year's newly appointed auditing team. Our auditors, we have a state auditor that is appointed by the governor and by a panel of folks that he has on board to select a non-biased auditor that audits all 64 county assessors' offices. We just received that report this morning. We passed. We are in compliance. I have to give my staff all the credit. They worked hard. This was a very complicated year. It was a reevaluation year. It was a new year implementing new laws, new software, and we had lots of hours, lots of weekend work where they were able to help me get our data compiled and get that off to the auditors. And as of this morning, they said we are compliant and have passed. They usually send it used to be an actual packet that they'd send to the board. I don't know if you'll get an email, but it's from San Mateo Auditing now out of Denver and around the world. So they will be sending it to you. We did a lot of education on our part, educating new auditors. These are people that have never been in the assessment world. Very few of them are appraisers. Most of them are data analysts. So we did it. Hopefully, we did a good job of educating them about what an assessor's office does. So we jumped that hurdle, and along with new legislation, new computer software, we were able to get the numbers and the data they needed to get processed. The state will be having a meeting within the next 2 weeks. Our Department of Taxation, Joanne Groff, our property tax administrator, is retiring, and the state will be appointing a new property tax administrator here. There are 2 that I know have risen to the top of the application process. I feel confident in both of these people. I've worked with them for the last 20-some years, so hopefully one of those 2 people will get appointed and we will have a smooth transition with the property tax. I'm a little nervous seeing January come soon enough because we know we're going to have a lot of legislation coming from different organizations. So I think it's a very important step and a very important person to have there that has knowledge of what assessors do. So the two candidates are qualified on both of those fronts. So other than that, gentlemen, that's all I have to report.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your audit. And one of the questions that as we're going into budget season, the county is actually planning for what could be and what's going to be in 2026, 25, 26. Do you foresee any challenges with IT infrastructure technology to support and implement all of the new legislation that has taken place in the last 50 years? Any additional cost, if you will?
I have a feeling eventually, the majority of our offices are on Tyler. Tyler, it's in our contracts as it stands now that they have to implement this new software and rewrite code at no cost. But it's getting very tight on their end, and they have put hours, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of hours into rewriting code. They're in this to make money. They are a for-profit business. We are going to be paying someone. And we are not through the complete rewriting of code and getting processes in place. I'll be attending 2 more meetings, and we're, as we speak, they're trying to get code written to handle our tax roll, our recertification, and some other data that the state is requiring because of the last Senate bills and House bills through the special sessions. So Commissioner, I can confidently say we're going to be seeing costs increase. And we will be seeing, we're still waiting as assessors to see what assessment rates we're going to have to implement for this year's tax bill. We don't have those yet. We probably won't have those till late October, beginning of November. And by then, we've already set our budgets, and we are anticipating some of those assessment rates to go down. So when assessment rates are lowered, tax revenue is lowered. But that assessment rates will probably be going down for only fire districts, hospital districts, counties, cities, towns, things of that. The assessment rate for schools, we have a feeling will be increasing. So the tax rate that they'll pay to your schools will be increased. The tax rate you pay to all other entities and local governments will be increased.
Well, thank you. And I asked the question because finance director probably has to put some kind of a miscellaneous something in there, just in the case of.
I can tell you Ms. Coberly has been very efficient and we communicate well in trying to budget for all the pitfalls.
We meet tomorrow,
Yes,
every department.
thank you.
How about a message from the San Luis County Sheriff? No reports, no updates. Anyone from the clerk and recorder's office? Treasurer's office? District attorney? Coroner? Hearing that, we're going to go now all the way down to public comment. Good morning, Mr. Pat Hollett. Great to see you here this morning, sir.
So, to the commissioners and staff, really appreciate the work you do. Thanks. We're kind of all in this together. And some things I heard was, 9 counties and 64 counties and regions and government. The Telesco Alliance is about the same kind of thing. So we're tracking with you. I'll be providing you guys with our 3-year concise business plan, so you can see kind of where we are and where we're going. We no longer see ourselves as an event organizer. We don't intend to have beer gardens and bounce houses anymore. We're about member success, economic development, and improved quality of life for our seniors and our youth. That's where our focus is. About last year, we got a grant from you for $2,500 in order to reach out to our county businesses, because we were the Trinidad Los Angeles County Chamber of Commerce. We had no county members. Here to report that was successful. We brought in county members, and as a result of that, we didn't come back to you for more money, because we were able to get 6 businesses in Aguilar to come as members as a result of just letting folks know we're inclusive. So that money was well spent, and we've got 6 businesses, and if there's any more than 6 businesses in Aguilar, we'd like to be directed to them. I think we're doing pretty good over there. Soon I'm going to be able to report our 501c6 is up running new bylaws. We're legal in Colorado and New Mexico to do business. We see ourselves as a historically connected communities. These three counties, Los Animas, Garfield County, and Colfax County, they were doing work together before there was the United States, certainly before there was a state of Colorado and the state of New Mexico. We intend to continue that. Should be able to report here soon. The city of Raton, Cimarron Chamber of Commerce will be joining us. Aguilar Economic Development should be on their way here soon. We could use your help and other organizations that you connect with to join this mission. The 501c3 Foundation, the Plexico Foundation, should be able to run here soon. We've invested about $8,000 in member money in order to act, think regional and act local. In order to execute on the same things that you guys are trying to execute by bringing more people in, and together we do more. So this is a real investment for us. We actually, I heard costs. Everyone said cost increase. We've lowered our costs on all of our membership plans. We have a free membership plan for all starters and incubators. That's when they need us the most, and that's when we don't charge them anything. But at the same time, our businesses increase costs. Cost a lot. Chicken wings cost more. Everything costs more. And so, again, we need to work for them. I'm going to provide you with a business plan. There was, I think we had a communication kind of issue because we need the county as a member. I think the county wants to be a member of what we're doing. We're overdue in dues from you guys. So attached to Christie's business plan will be an invoice, and we'd like to welcome you back into the chamber because we've got a lot of work to do. We've increased the territory. We're the largest business organization of our kind in the country, 10,000 square miles. We're the only one in the country that is across the state lines. And I've had 5 meetings, Greater Baltimore Chamber of Commerce, 5 meetings with other chambers that are regional rural chambers saying, we like what you're doing, can you talk to us? Because we can't do it alone as well. And so I look forward to you guys rejoining us. There's our business plan. We have this is the concise plan, okay? We have a 6-page plan where we actually share our numbers and that sort of thing. Thanks, guys. And appreciate you. Again, anything you can do to help strengthen us in our region, in those 3 counties that you all hold dear and near, we would appreciate the assistance. If you have any questions for me, holler at me. I know you guys already know where I am.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much. And perhaps not necessarily, if you would like to do a presentation to this board, you will get at that time 20 minutes or so. So work with Mr. Roy Camp in the future if you want to provide any updates to the community and for us. You're more than welcome to do that.
We'd love to do it. We've got great news to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me now call on anyone online that wishes to address this Board of County Commissioners. You will have 3 minutes. Simply raise your hand and or unmute yourself. Once again, anyone online that wishes to address this Board of County Commissioners, simply unmute, raise your hand, and you will have 3 minutes to address this board. Hearing none, I am going to go to the next item, which we don't have anything on Section 8. We're going to go to Section 9, consideration of QECS ACN abatement proposal. Mr. Dorncamp.
Which is before you for your consideration is QECS's ACM abatement proposal is part of the cloth wiring replacement project that we're going through sometime last to address some removal of cloth wiring that's within the courthouse. And we have some areas that still have some ACM in, particularly all of the sales office, Christy Jones' office and mine. Seeing tiles, so ECS has been hard to come in there and abate those tiles so they can remove them, so they can get the electrical contractor can remove those tiles. Students electrical contractor can remove the cloth wiring and replace it without any exposed AC.
So, Mr. Dorncamp, one of my questions as I looked at this proposal is that they're replacing the tiles that are directly connecting that conduit only, or is it the entire?
They will be removing, not replacing, they'll be removing the ACM, all the tile turf as part of the wiring replacement, so I'm sure there's conduit running up underneath those ceiling panels or above the ceiling panels that it's going to have to be removed and replaced. I haven't stuck my head up in those tiles or above those tiles, so I do not know.
So then the follow-up question is this inclusive of the entire project? I mean, I know we probably could expect another change order.
Commissioner, there's ACM throughout this courthouse. I guess along with Bridge Bay. And as we make these improvements on this Granville building, our consultants identify where those hazardous materials are and only remove what's necessary to get the work. So my answer is no. There will probably be more ACM and lead based paint elsewhere in this courthouse until it's disturbed, it's fine for me to
Very good. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Borough Captain on this project?
Because there's hazardous material and now we move this and doing some of the work on the weekends to help our employees out so they're not involved in
Commissioner, it'd be the board's choice. They believe the anticipated time frame is in 2 days. They think they can isolate, remove, clean everything up, and remove their isolation vessels in 2 days. And that's why the proposal shows daytime price of $9,600 and weekend price of $1,200. And I believe myself, Mr. Sarah, and Chris Joe can all be relocated if necessary for a 30% increase for daytime and weekend. I'm not so sure that we can relocate somewhere else in the offices and do it.
Well, and I was going to be thinking, Commissioner, that's a really good question because if, the containment, of course, it would be the same whether it's a weekend or a weekday, as long as you're not in proximity of it. If you're able to relocate, I think, the project's going to get done.
The one issue that was brought up to me, and please further comment, is the mail room, where the vending machine is. So we have to work around the clerks and the other elected officials where their mail needs to be updated and that is, or 2 days it is.
There's a drill closet available right there.
Well, the thing is, you can't move that postage. Last time we moved it from Christie's office to mine, it was $1,000. So we can't move the mail machine. But did, the gentleman that spoke to us said we could probably take it like later Friday afternoon, after we've run most of our mail, and then they would do their work over the weekend.
If the board decides to do the weekend work or we do.
I think for the purposes, to me, for the purposes of completing the project, sir, you probably work with them. I was kind of, you mentioned other elected officials as well, just work with them. And I think, to me, if you could do that on a weekday, absolutely. Notwithstanding the challenge that could be with the postage machine, I mean, you accommodated in communication with the contractor.
Okay, well, maybe perhaps what the board can do is go ahead and approve the weekend work, and then we can arrange it such that it can be done during the weekday, and we've already addressed it. Good price for the weekday.
I know the one question that we always ask around this table is, you have those funds budgeted.
Commissioner, those are funds that we're going to be trying to get reimbursed for from the company that we believe should have replaced that cloth wiring on phase 2 of the courthouse. So, Finance Director shaking her head yes. She's manipulating monies, the whole monies. You talk about the state sweeping, you talk about
Don't let them manipulate that.
the state.
Reconstructed the
Reallocating,
You
yes.
talk about the state sweeping and the federal government clawing back. She's sweeping and clawing back. It's
Very good. Thank you, Commissioners. Any more questions for Mr. Borough Captain? I like the recommendation that let's, the motion should include exactly what Mr. Borough Captain said, weekend work, unless otherwise, the availability to accommodate it for the week.
Do you want the weekend work, provision there?
Please, let's approve the weekend price, and then if we can get that down there every day, then just use a refund. I should say refund, just one period cost. I'll work with staff and the directors and try.
You might be able to work the majority of it on the weekdays if you're able to relocate, except for the one room that could be, and so that's going to be part of the conversation you have with the contractors.
Even if we have to do the option of buying a roll of stamps to get us through, we don't, I mean, unless we have to get a big postage run for the third place and so which they're specific.
Okay.
I think that's what we need to have that conversation with the contractor first, all the elected, so we're going to do the bell run. Then we can start the abatement after the big bell run, and Mr. Sellers for the point of roll stamps, a whole lot cheaper than $3,000.
Very good. I like that.
So the daytime price and the weekend price will be at your discretion, correct?
Whatever we can work out with the contractor and the elected officials and whoever else wants to.
Commissioners, any other discussion on this? If not hearing any, I will entertain a motion on this 9A item.
Move to approve the QECS ACM abatement proposal to be inclusive of both the daytime price, $95.94, and the weekend price, $12,090, and at our administrator's discretion.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. Thank you. 9B, consideration of Parker Stokes Airport and Tri-State MOU. Mr. Duncan.
Commissioners, before you for your consideration is Tri-State Generation MOU with Los Angeles County for $40,000 community improvement donation. This was, we sought funding to help offset the county's costs when it came to doing an engineering analysis for 2 helicopter parking pads and 1 large hangar that we sought Department of Defense DICP funds for. And our part of that engineering assessment was over $60,000, so Tri-State approached us and we asked them if they could donate $40,000 to offset that $60,000 cost. And as a side note, I think we got 20 from OED, or I believe it's on the way, we received this money. So that's the ones that we received.
I know it's a very small agreement, but council, you have an opportunity to review that.
We also had our consultants, we had our consultant review as well, so.
Very good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Commissioners, any additional questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the Parker Stokes Airport and Tri-State memorandum.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. 9C, consideration of Higher Technologies amendment to agreement. Mr. Jonica?
Commissioners, I am going to defer to Finance Director Christopher and Planning Director Sean Rogan. This is for the software upgrades, not upgrades, new software that the board put in the for me.
I'm ready this time.
You're good to go.
I'm ready this time. Oh, okay.
Good morning, Mr. Rogan.
Good morning. So, what this is that it's changing of the dates of our Tyler software for the new building programs that were coming in. The original had that when we signed the contract is when the building started, correct me when, and so this new amendment would be that it would start on January 1st, so that this building would go onto our 2026 budget.
So this is a calendar year rather than a fiscal year.
Yes.
Okay.
We also did budget for this.
Yeah.
So that's why we haven't changed the dates so that we can budget for the building inspector department. So that's where we asked them to change the dates.
So changed it from November 22 to January 1.
They're saying that November 22 is when, because I think they're going to attach that to the
That was when
accounting
we went-
software.
When we went live, was,
Right, and so I think they're talking about the cloud here, so it's got a word in the cloud, this is when we implemented the accounting software. So I think that he's gonna be a piece of our software. So I think that's, because we kind of questioned that as well. But that's when he came back and told us that was just part of the original agreement with the accounting software.
So
Yeah, they don't put the date on there.
that's it.
They did, what was this? Right, but I think this one, it begins January 1 of 2026 to December
yes.
of 2026. So it'll be a full calendar year.
So, council, without the date, and I know this is simply a question, without having a date, do you have any?
It doesn't specify a date, but it says it commences on the first day of the first month following the date that is available to us to use. So I think they
So we
are
can approve?
intentional of that,
Okay.
because maybe it's not January first, maybe it's February first.
Okay,
That was my interpretation.
very good.
Because they said they're going to start training in January 2026. We're supposed to go live February of 26. That's when the
First day of the first month.
Yeah,
They
that's,
sent us a list of when they're going to start training, implementing, so it's a whole schedule. I guess I'm assuming the schedule could change possibly. So I think that's.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, we've been through that. Sean.
Yeah, so we're planning January 5th is our first implementation, so it'll be calendar year 2026, so we'll be on 2026 budget.
So in the motion, we don't need a specific.
so thank you, Sean, because, the first day of the first month, that could be anything, but I think verification and communication with Tyler indicates, the, email messaging is on, that is gonna be in 2026, so thank you. Commissioners, any other discussion on this item? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve the Tower Technologies amendment to the agreement.
Second?
Commissioner Lucero,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess, Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. Thank you. 90, consideration of OBCC number 7038, Alvin Martinez for $61.94. Commissioners, this is pretty much straightforward from Broker Recorder's Office. Any questions on this? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve OBCC number 7038 for $61.94.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Sal,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes, thank you. 90, consideration of resolution 25-028 DR 2025-002 by Ralph and Victoria Sharadulu to vacate the subdivision plat for Terra Canyon Ranch Estates. Mr. Grunkamp, I believe you have first reading.
Resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado, vacating the subdivision plat for Terra Canyon Ranch Estates, resolution number 25-020. Whereas Ralph and Victoria Shaughnessy Road are requesting to vacate the subdivision plat for Terra Canyon Ranch Estates, and whereas Los Angeles County Planning Commission heard application BR 2025-002 filed by Ralph and Victoria Shaughnessy Road at its meeting held on July 14, 2025, whereas Los Angeles County Planning Commission recommended the Board of County Commission approve application BR 2025-002 vacate 841.87 acres of the subdivision plat for Terra Canyon Ranch Estates, and whereas the Board of County Commissioners on public hearing on August 19, 2025, at which time an opportunity was afforded to the public to make comments on the application BR 2025-002. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado, that one, Board of County Commissioners hereby approves application BR 2025-002 and vacates the subdivision plan for TR Canyon Ranch Estates. This resolution upon motion was made and seconded, affirmative votes and adopted on September 16, 2025. Order the Board of County Commissioners, Los Angeles County, Colorado, following the exchange.
Thank you, Mr. Dorian. Commissioners, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve resolution 25028 VR 2025-002 by Ralph and Victoria Sims Reward to vacate the subdivision plat for Terra Canyon Ranch Estates. Second.
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Dorian. Another one here now, but 9F, consideration of resolution 25-029, EG Features LLC. Mr. Dorian, please read the resolution.
Resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado, making findings and rendering a determination on the major facilities permit application NF 2025-02, filed by EG Fishers LLC, Brandon Fisher Solar Inc. Resolution number 25-029. Whereas EG Fishers LLC, Brandon Fisher Solar Inc. has filed application NF 2025-02 with the rules of procedure of Los Angeles County Oil and Gas Regulation seeking approval to construct a utility scale solar EV with a co-located battery storage facility and whereas Los Angeles County Planning Commission heard application of that 2025-02 by E.G. Fishers LLC, Graham Fishers Solar Inc. at its meeting held on July 14, 2025 is being recommended for approval, and whereas the Board of County Commissioners held a public hearing on August 19, 2025, at which time said application was publicly heard and testimony was taken from all interested parties, including representatives of E.G. Fishers LLC. An opportunity was afforded to the public to make comments on the application NF 2025-02 and whereas the Board of County Commissioners taken into consideration the application on supporting information submitted by the applicant. The recommendation of the Los Angeles County Planning Commission public comments made during the public hearing for the application. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado, that one findings, the Board of County Commissioners hereby makes the following findings in this application in its consideration of application number 2025-02. E.G. Fishers LLC, Green Fisher Solar Inc. seeking approval for the construction of utility solar PV with a co-located battery storage facility. 1.10 major facilities review criteria. Need that E.G. Fishers LLC, Green Fisher Solar Inc. has sufficient demonstrated need for utility solar PV with a co-located battery storage facility in the proposed location as evidenced by supporting application information. Suitability of E.G. Fishers LLC, Green Fisher Solar Inc. has sufficient proven the suitability of the proposed location of operation of solar facilities evidenced by the information supporting the application. Accuracy of existing roads and address to the site of E.G. Fishers LLC, Green Fisher's Solar Inc. has sufficient demonstrated accuracy of access roads and site roads for the solar facilities evidenced by the information supporting the application. Capacity at E.G. Fishers LLC, Green Fisher's Solar Inc. has sufficient demonstrated that the proposed solar facilities compatible with surrounding land uses is evidenced by the information supporting the application. Determination of Board of County Commissioners is hereby approve application NF 2025-02 by E.G. Fishers LLC, Green Solar Fishers Inc. for the construction of utility scale solar PV with a co-located battery storage facility with the condition of the decommissioning reclamation plan requirements of Los Angeles County ought to be included in the application prior to construction, and it be confirmed through the land use. It be confirmed through the Los Angeles County Planning and Land Use Office. The resolution following motion was made and seconded. Affirmative vote was adopted on September 16, 2025 by the order of the Board of County Commissioners, Los Angeles County, Colorado, followed by your signature.
Thank you, Mr. Dorian. Commissioners, any comments? I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve resolution 25-029, E.G. Fishers LLC.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes. Thank you. 9G, consideration of Santa Fe Trail Ranch, Colorado State Forest Services, forest restoration, and wildfire risk mitigation grant application letter of support. Mr. Duncan.
Commissioner, before you for your consideration is the Santa Fe Trail Property Managers Association a request for a letter of support for their forest restoration wildlife risk mitigation grant application.
Did we prepare this letter?
It was sent to me as a template, and I made a few adjustments, so those are in the entire. It's actually, the commission's actually template that we use the letter of support, I believe, in 2024 for one of the other developments on this one.
Any additional discussion on this item? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
We to approve the Santa Fe Trail Ranches Colorado State Forest Services forest restoration and wildfire risk management grant application letter of support.
Second that?
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes, thank you. Particular request in consideration of resolution 25-030, establishing European rates. Mr. Darlington, would you please read the resolution?
Yes, sir. First, I want to thank San Luis County's council and also this to my attention on our existing, our current tornado rates in this month, which should bring my attention to this resolution in front of the board. So a resolution of the Board of County Commission on San Luis County, Colorado, establishing the in travel and mileage rates for October 1, 2025 through September 30, 2026, resolution 25-030. Whereas San Luis County has adopted and enforces policies and guidelines governing its personnel and setting out the rules and procedures for employee conduct and performance of the respective duties set forth in general San Luis County handbook. And whereas from time to time, elected officials are required to travel outside of San Luis County for the performance of their duties and daily functions of their respective positions, all core job descriptions. The San Luis County handbook allows for per diem travel and mileage payments and reimbursements as established by county resolution. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of County Commission of San Luis County, Colorado, that one per diem travel and mileage rates for San Luis County for October 1, 2025 through September 30, 2026 shall be as stated in the attached exhibit to all orders, resolutions, bylaws, and regulations of the county, or parts that are consistent with this resolution are hereby repealed, to the extent only of such inconsistency. 3, the Board of County Commissioners hereby directs that copies of this resolution and attached will be provided to each elected official and all county employees in all departments and offices. Upon motion made to second and further vote, this resolution is adopted the 16th day of September 2025. The Board of County Commissioners of San Luis County, Colorado, hold by your signature.
Thank you, Mr. Darlington. And again, thank you to all the people that went in the gates and quickly say that I had highlighted one footnote. Anytime that we travel out of state, what the mileage reimbursement and so on, or meal reimbursement, and I think, is that off of fiscal rules, finance director? Anytime that if there is travel out of state, as I tend to do, I know my travel is covered by the CCI organization.
Yes, 100% yes.
Okay, so it is coming from the state of fiscal rules, where they work earlier. Thank you. Questions, commissioners? I hear none. I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve resolution 25-030 establishing per diem rates.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes. Thank you. 9I, consideration of retail liquor license renewal application for Stonewall Lodge LLC. Council.
Commissioners, I reviewed the applications.
Thank you, ma'am. Good document. Pretty straightforward, commissioners. Is there any additional discussion on this item? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Approve the retail liquor license renewal application for
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes, thank you. 9J, consideration of tri-state letter of support, Mr. Duncan.
Commissioner, before you for your consideration is Tri-State's request from Board of County Commissioners for letter of support for the donations that they made to the Public Library and $40,000 Prairie Schools engineering assessment. I believe the Tri-State calls it their Spanish community benefits department.
Thank you, pretty straightforward letter. And we also extend gratitude for their support. Commissioners, any discussion on this item? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve tri-state letter of support.
Second.
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess? Commissioner Lopez?
Yes. Thank you. Consideration, 9K, consideration of appointment to the Animas County Planning Commission, Mr. Travis Jones. Mr. Rogan.
I need to swear in this time.
Okay.
I ever since then, I'm really focused in. Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is a letter for a Mr. Travis Wayne Jones to become our fourth member of our Planning Commission. We are still short one position and two alternatives, but it will bring us to 4 members of our Planning Commission, which will give our Planning Commissioners a little bit more leeway with, something comes up and they have to miss a meeting, we don't have to completely reschedule for the next month. Mr. Jones had contacted me in August about joining our commission. He is a member of our community. He is looking to do projects out in the Black Hills area. And I feel like with his building experience, it would be a great addition to our planning commission.
Thank you. And I know this is going to be a question that at this point in time we don't have any solution to, but in the event that there is a project that comes to the planning commission and the board is too into how would that type of waiver take place? And I know that's going to be council.
Just a recommendation.
There it is. There it is.
I was got really excited. Oh, I don't know the answer to that.
I have one question.
Yes.
Because so if he gets appointed today, Sean's got a meeting scheduled before I will have the resolution in front of you guys in 2 weeks. He's appointed today and can't sit on that board. Okay.
Thank you. I can't recommend anybody says, thank you so much.
Believe me, when they can go on vacations, they'll be very thankful.
Very good. Commissioners, any other discussion on this item? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve the appointment to Travis Jones to Science Planning Commission.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Searle?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes, and please, Mr. Rogan, pass on a welcome and thank you on behalf of both county commissioners. 9L, consideration of items electric change request 1002 BRF surge phase blocks. Mr. Duncan.
Commissioner, before you for your consideration is as an aggregate change order request 1002 for the BFR surge phase loss. This came about for the heating units that are part of our HVAC system. And my question to our, consultant was, why was this not included in the original design? And the response was, no, the email that was conversations that in the original design, they had assumed that the electrical stability in the courthouse was somewhat stable. This past spring, I believe it was, one of the heat pumps, which which is what those protectors are supposed to help. I believe was actually burned up and no longer functional. The contractor, sold it in place of it, they want to protect those heat pumps. And these circuit protectors will do that from fluctuating and unstable electrical power.
And that is to protect the entire HVAC system.
Those are just the heat pumps.
The heat pumps.
But you'll protect the entire system because the heat pumps, I understand the heat pumps are the most sensitive piece of the hardware of the HVAC system, is what I understand.
And since we have already gone through the cooling season, now coming into the heating season, do you notice any physics on the cooling side of the house that we need to, or might rise up the conversation?
There's been some, especially early on in the season, there was some issues with the HVAC and thermostats, or the cooling of the rooms and the thermostats and some other issues. We had some leaking lines. And I don't recall what else, but all of those have been rectified. Don't cost the county, which it should, because all this hardware, software is still cheap.
And the warranty is for,
Manufacturer warranty commissioner, and I don't know what those are off the top of my head. I think the HVAC, for the most part, the hardware is, I want to say 10 years. But the labor for having to come back down and doing in additional work, I believe is from the time that we certified substantial completion, I don't remember all the terminology, which I believe was.
so we're coming up. Commissioners, any other discussion on this item? I will entertain a motion.
I'm looking at the notes here, and it says install phase loss monitors and surge suppression devices, and 2 lines down, it says price does not include surge suppression or phase loss monitoring devices. They'll be supplied by others.
Well, my understanding of that is, Commissioner, is that if there's any other besides the 7, then it'll be up to supplied by others to be the surge protectors. My understanding.
If there needs to be additional.
We're paying for 7, and that's all they want to install.
And this is inclusive of labor and
This is the supply base relation.
I think the motion to table this until we have discussion with our attorney and executive.
us,
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Hass,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
yes. Nine, consideration of items selected change request 1003 unit here, Mr. Darling.
Commissioners, there are private bathrooms in some of the offices, and request has been made, or was made some time back to install heaters in those private bathrooms. That's what this is. There's 3 of them now.
I think since the request is coming from the same company, should we, Commissioners, let me go this table. I would entertain a motion to that effect.
I'm on the table. Unless one of these are to new meters.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hass,
Yes.
Commissioner Searle,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes. The table goes and eventually put them on the second. Okay, so 9, in consideration of James Builders ACT proposal. Mr. Duncan.
Commissioners, this is part of QECS, where they're going to go in with seating tiles in the offices that I mentioned earlier, and other areas that have the potential to strengthen the ceiling. materials. This is for the reinstallation of the seating tiles and grid to specified areas. QECS doesn't put the tiles back in, just point the tiles. That's what these folks do.
So, if I'm looking at is the total amount that we will be approving on this is the 9560 plus the 1630 for Cleveland.
How much?
9,560 to the price.
That's for the,
Remove all ceiling, and then there's a little chart at the bottom that is actually remaining balance.
let me explain what this is, Commissioner.
Okay.
The chart at the bottom is a summary of funds that have been used out of the original contingency. I'll set aside these, and I apologize for not clarifying that like that with this.
So the total amount would be the 9560.
The total amount will be $11,190, so 9560 and then 1,630.
So that's a lot of work. Very good. So, any other questions on this 9 million item? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve the change orders after proposal.
Second.
Commissioner Sarah?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes. Thank you. We're going to go to section 10, financial matters. Consideration of payroll and bills for the first half of September 2025. Finance Director Corey.
Good morning. Payroll as of September 15, 2025 is $248,403.73. Do you have any questions on payroll? Invoices paid on September 3rd, 2025 is $99,846.94. I didn't see anything that was different, so if you see something that you have questions on?
I think it's pretty straightforward. Commissioners, any questions on the financials? I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve payroll and bills for the first half of September 2025. Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Sarah?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes, and I think this is going to be a kind of a fun part. Discussion only. Finance Director.
Financials weren't, I think were added after. So I think financials are before this. And financials is information only. Correct? It wasn't on the agenda, but it's in the packet.
It wasn't in the packet, but it was on the agenda that I handed out to the commissioners. Financials for discussion.
For discussion.
So,
My mistake, Chris.
so are we doing financials or are we doing the insurance?
You're doing the financials for
Oh, okay.
discussion only. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed
The beautiful white paper.
Okay, so, let's see, I want to tell you, so general fund has a surplus of $556,000. Road and Bridge has a surplus of $220,000. Airport has a deficit of $59,000. Contingent has a surplus of $59,000. Capital expenditure has a surplus of $268,000. Our lottery funds has a surplus of $24,000. Field has a deficit of $86,000. We did transfer the funds to Road and Bridge. LACC has a surplus of $1,168,000. And let's see, jail improvement has a deficit of $84,000. I have not transferred the fund yet. I will do that probably in November. Any questions on anything without the packet?
No, once again, thank you, Finance Director. This is really rare. We get the calls at the end of the day, the bottom line, and solid financial year to date.
Yeah,
So,
do a comparison to the past 2 years as well. You can see that.
yep. Appreciate that. And was for discussion only, and now, we're gonna go, unless there's any other questions for regular, public. We're gonna go to 9C, discussion of insurance options.
And I think it was my error because I think it should, this should have been a consideration this year, but I think we're having a special meeting next week. We can probably discuss it today. Is it this Thursday or next Thursday?
25th.
Yeah, so we can bring it as a consideration, but we can probably discuss it and then we can probably also discuss the executive as well. All right, that was my mistake, so I felt that was just consideration. Tony did talk a little bit about insurance. So from what it tells me here is, we were on rate band, so this is our medical for CHP. Last year we went on a band to 3, they lowered us to a band 2. And so that actually gave us an increase of 4.65% on the medical. Vision is, vision is an increase of 3.5%, dental is an increase of 8.5% on here. Life did not increase at all. And you'll see I did attach a comparison that we can probably discuss in executive to see what to do on contribution and everything for our employees and what that increase will be for everybody. I did actually have a conversation with our rep about adding another tier. But that other tier will be an increase to the employees and the family and that we have a discussion. Insurance.
So how many counties have employee plus one?
I've never asked, but I guess I can ask that question.
You know, and I think that would be valid, and they need to really consider. When you don't have a family any longer, the employee plus one. However, as we look at the proposed increase to sustain a plan such as that, I hope we're not the only county asking for that.
Since we're going to come back next week for consideration, I can find out some information so that we can have a discussion on that.
I think, Finance Director, you got that information, don't you? That tier that you asked for is employee plus one commissioner.
I sent that to you guys as in a spreadsheet, but that doesn't include how many other counties have the tier, have the tier 3, I'm saying, so I think that's a good question, how many other counties, because in order to implement the tier 3, the employee family have to absorb the additional costs.
It was,
It's also not a cheap plan if you, the spreadsheet I sent to you, for the tier 1, for the employee plus 1, it's still very costly compared to family. So I sent you the spreadsheet, you can look at that.
So they're cheaper by the dozen.
100%.
All right, and again, we will have an opportunity to discuss this with Finance Director. I really get down into the nitty-gritty of these new proposed rates. Commissioners, at this time, we are going to be entering into executive session unless there's any other questions for Finance Director. We're going to go into executive session under CRS 246424B, confirmed with the county attorney for the purposes of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions: A, membership; B, position; C, airport; D, insurance; E, solar project; F, bonds. We're going to take item L, consideration of items elected request, that's search phase lots, and that's item L, and then also item N, consideration of items elected change request, 100 square feet unit heater. So at this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to suspend the regular Board of County Commissioners and enter into executive session.
So moved.
Commissioner Lucero,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Commissioner Rhodes.
Yes, and we're going to take a short recess.